So, recently I did a video on this little frenzy, and today I want to do a video on his old buddy, Ravage. Now, as you know, in the Bumblebee movie, this is that actual one we get to see on screen. This one, you know, when Soundwave says Ravage eject and then Ravage ejects. But yeah, he's pretty cool. I really like how they got these eyes looking. Now this, I believe, is a kind of combiner weapon for Soundwave. This is like a rocket launcher. Of course, he's got his classic leg blasters. And I'm going to take some of these cosmetic pieces off to better show the articulation, and also because there's a bit of parts forming for the transformation. But his legs can move a lot. They're on ball joints, so pretty good. It's got the Decepticon logos on his legs, just like in the movie. It's got a tail, but pretty much just does that. But one cool thing is his mouth can open and close. He can move his head up and down, which is also part of the transformation. Now let's get into that transformation. So, first, put his head down. Then, you're going to take this part here first. Instructions don't really tell you about this, but you have to move this little piece here down a bit, sort of spread his legs, because now you're going to have to fold down the whole big tail piece. And you gotta make sure you've got the legs positioned correctly, because you're gonna need this for some of the weapon storage. But yeah, you just gotta get that in there good. Now you take a look at his belly. You grab his little rocket pod. I'll call it like a rocket pod because that's what it is. It's a little pod of a bunch of rockets. Whoa. Huh. Oh, I dropped it down my sleeve. There we go. Boom. Now, this is the part that gets a little annoying. So, there's lots of little holes and tabs and stuff on him. So, you gotta kind of move up the front feet. So you can take the back feet, and if you don't do this exactly right, it's gonna mess the whole thing up. So you gotta kind of position it like this, pop it in there, you stay in there, head, you close your mouth. There we go. That like that. Same thing on the other side. It's really, really weird positioning, and you gotta kind of squash some pieces around. And it's not always gonna work exactly right. But once you do get it, it should look kind of like that, very squared off. So now you've got these tiny peg holes in this tiny peg here. So you're going to put it into that peg hole. And then you've just got to make sure that before you put it in, you fold up the feet. And this is one of the parts that can be really complicated, because if you didn't get this part exactly right, it won't really work. So yeah, it's going to kind of be a bit of foot peeking out. And there we go. Now, make sure that you've got the kind of big bumpy laser blaster pointed to the back on these little side blasters. And then finally, if you don't have the Soundwave and you're not storing Ravage in his chest, you put this on top, but you will have to remove it and put it on Soundwave for when you transform him. But I mean, when you put him in Soundwave's chest, what am I saying? But really nice little tiny cube cat. I've always really loved the cassettes. They're some of my favorite Transformers. Like, because they're like just little dudes who live inside of Soundwave's chest, but he cares about them, and that's what makes Soundwave one of my favorite Decepticons. He cares about his little minions. Like, most other characters will just ditch them, leave them behind, but Soundwave doesn't. He cares, and I love him for that. But yeah, this, I guess you could say it's kind of like now a little rocket thruster, so boom, he can like travel through space or something. But yeah, this is probably the one I'm going to keep in my Soundwave's chest, just because that's how it is in the movie, because Rumble and Ravage, Rumble and Frenzy, I keep saying Rumble and Ravage because it always rhymes and it usually says Rumble, Ravage, Eject. But yeah, Rumble and Frenzy, like, I'm not going to be keeping them in Soundwave's chest. Most likely I'm going to have them out for display, and then, because, like, the movie, you know, just put them in the chest, like, maybe have it open so you can see the, you know, the boy. But yeah, pretty fun. Pretty nice that they both come with weapons for Soundwave, although apparently these ones don't really fit him very well, which makes sense because it's like, this guy is like 1/10 of Soundwave's size. Maybe like 1/12. He's tiny compared to Soundwave. Like, yeah, these guys are fun. Highly recommend them if you have the Soundwave. 100% get at least Ravage, but Rumble and Frenzy are so much fun. Like, I love little tiny fun core classes, and these are fun. I got this guy for like $17. This guy's like $20 or something. Pretty low prices, if you ask me. Like, I get that they're super tiny, and like, why would that justify the price? But they are pretty high quality. And they're fun little desk toys. Like, you'll get a lot of use out of them. I guarantee it. If you like cassettes, you'll like these guys. Anyway, bye. That should be it for my videos for today. See you guys tomorrow with my G1 Transformers I'm getting that I'm very excited about.